Hello everybody, welcome back to YouTube's favourite show.
Main review.
Maybe not quite. Welcome back to How Would That Sound? This is a show where I record some songs and stuff, do some weird music production things to them, and see how would that sound. On today's agenda, we've got something similar to last week. If you watched that video, you saw me apply a phaser effect to a bunch of stuff. There'll be a link at the end of the video if you want to watch that one. This week, we're doing the same as that, but instead of using a phaser, we're going to use a Bircrush effect. For people who don't know what a Bircrush is, this is something that turns sounds into more of a Game Boy Color sounding thing. That's what we're doing. I've already decided what songs we're going to do. The first one is going to be sort of an acoustic stripped back version of a song I've written recently called Younger Eyes. Then I'm also going to use Ticket Out of Loserville by Son of Dork. Hope that sounds good to you. Let's get into it. So when I've been applying the Bircrush effect to all the layers, I've noticed that it's not really doing much. I'll show you what happens when it's on the factory default settings. This is what the lead vocal sounds like, just on its own, without any bit crushing.
Binge me, is this real? I'm on a one-way ticket.
So that's that. And then if I apply this factory default bit crush,
Binge me, is this real? I'm on a one-way ticket.
Sort of just adds a bunch of background noise. So instead what I've decided to do is this. I'm going to change the settings on the bit crusher to wrap. I'm going to take the resolution down to 1 bit, and then we get this. I think I'll take it to 2 bit, and I'll apply those settings to everything. Right, whew. You join me when I'm all sweaty, being locked in a room after doing the recordings of all that stuff that I said I was going to do. What I wanted to do though is remind you how this sort of works in 2 parts in case you didn't see last time, the last video I made. I'll go through that now. Okay, so here you see my virtual mixing desk. These 2 light blue tracks are lead vocals. This is for the Loserville one. There's only lead vocal on this. Then you've got 3 there, the one that says old punk thing, those are 3 guitars. Then you've got 3 bass layers. So those are all the things that I've recorded, and then we've got drums, so that's the track. But then these tracks over here are what you call, there's buses, which do stuff, I'll not get into that. But then there's this green one is for a certain type of effect, and then there's these as well. So the 2 stages are everything that was recorded, so all the bass and guitar and things will have Bircrush put on them. Then the second stage is to put it on all these extra tracks that aren't necessarily things that are recorded, they're normally things like effects, and those will then also be Bircrushed. If you don't understand that, don't worry, I have another explanation of it in the last video in case that one's better, but you'll get to hear the difference anyway when the songs are played. Speaking of which, let's listen to the first song right now.
From pretty faces to bright red skies, my broken brain thanks my younger eyes. When life is over and I've spent my time, I'll see my flashback through younger eyes. From pretty faces to bright red skies, my broken brain thanks my younger eyes.
What have we got? Younger Eyes. Wow, well, More like crushed, blind, because you young crushed eyes. I don't know. When I bit crushed just the instruments, so none of the effects or anything, it sounded, I mean, terrible. It sounded like one of those like joke MLG overdriven things from when MLG edits were a thing. If you just listen to the bass of the first Bircrush stage where it just went on the instruments, I kind of like that sort of distortion on those bass sounds. That bit's not bad. Rest of it is pretty dreadful to the ears. And then when I put Bircrush on absolutely everything, forget about it. It just ended up sounding like a bunch of noise with a muffled version of the track in the background. Let's move on to the next one. Hopefully it'll be as good as that, because it could be way worse.
Pinch me, is this real? I'm on a one-way ticket out of Loserville. Now I'm off the social flatline. Things are slowing down, taking down my star-rich life. And you're more than just a Valentine. You're a ticket out of Loserville.
Okay, that was awful. It just sounds dreadful. When it's just the instruments being bit crushed, there's like a constant pulse of like noise just going. When it bit crushed everything, it's just a bunch of noise. It's like the last one where it was just a bunch of noise with a muffled version of the original track in the background, but it's way worse this time. This experiment was probably one of the worst ones we've done, being as it just made a bunch of awful noise. That does it for this episode of How Would That Sound? Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope your ears aren't bleeding too much from the bit-crushed awfulness that's come from this. And I'll see you next time, where either I'll do something similar to this but use another effect, or we'll do some completely different type of audio experiment. If you do like these things, there's a playlist on my channel, and it'll be linked at the end of the video, that has a bunch of these in now, some really interesting tests we've done, so go check it out. I'll see you next time. From pretty faces to bright red